to make some intros to our awesome team members, Rick and Anthony, who are going to tell us their incredible stories. Before we get into their experiences, let me quickly go through just a quick science lesson with us all, because this is so important. Majority of us had the chance to participate in our science seminar that just concluded with Dr. Natalie Chevreau. But for those who heard that and need a little bit more insight on the simplicity of how we share LifeVantage today, let me take you on a quick journey through that. So let me get up here and manage. All right, so I often start these presentations just by helping people to appreciate the level of technology that's being shared with you tonight. If you could go back 10 years ago and think about the timing of Apple with their iPhone and iPad, if you had known that the technology they were bringing to market would be worth over, annual sales of the iPad alone exceed 26 billion in annual sales, you would have made alternate decisions. But I want to take you back 10 years and think about the first time you even heard about the iPad. Did it grab you immediately? Were you excited about it? Did you say you had to have one, or were you hesitant? Did it take you a little bit of time to see that product in use before you jumped on board? The majority of us hesitated. And during that time span is when Apple grew its sales to over $26 billion in product sales. And that, while you can't go back in time, what we're here to tell you is that you can use that insight to make better decisions today about your future. And so today you are being introduced to a technology called NRF1, NRF2 activation, something you've never heard about and something that you might be hesitant to embrace. We're going to explain the simplicity of what this science does, the industries it's already made obsolete, and then you'll hear from a couple of our incredible, again, individuals that you would trust with saving your life are going to tell you what this product has already done for them. And then from there, you can make some decisions. Are you going to hesitate and let this go past? Because again, this business is moving very, very fast forward. And we're looking for partners. We're looking for people who see this technology, what it's doing already, the validated, clinically proven science, and the industries it's replacing. And so if you have not yet watched ABC News introduce the technology of our flagship product called ProTandem, a NRF2 Synergizer, please watch that. Bottom of the screen gives you that URL. Go to abcliveit.com and watch ABC News. ABC News had come out to attempt to debunk the company and the medical claims that they were making almost 10 years ago. And in fact, it's probably one of the most positive ABC primetimes ever to air on the company. If you think of the genre of ABC primetime, it's pretty much camera crews chasing people around, attempting to debunk or devalue a company and its credibility. And in fact, this is a very, very positive and calls our products a breakthrough. So watch ABC News, and then you'll hear from some great testimonies in just a bit. And so what I tell people is that the science is immense that our company, LifeVantage, has brought to market. However, you don't have to be a scientist, you don't have to be a doctor, you don't have to be a biochemist to join us in this business. We make it very, very simple. And so while you may not be a medical expert, LifeVantage has that avenue covered with validated, credentialed individuals that will help you share this information with the people you love. And so what we're going to do right now is we're going to listen to a quick 4-minute interview with one such individual. And this is just one of many, many credentialed physicians, scientists, and experts, again, that you can share their knowledge with the people you care about. So let's listen together, and then we're going to introduce our testimonies.
We have Dr. Mark Gordon on the line with us. He's an MD. He's a board-certified cardiologist and has been for over 20 years. He's been involved in different phases of clinical cardiology. He trained at the University of Minnesota, and he participated there in multiple pharmaceutical and medical device trials as a clinical cardiologist. He also served as the governor of the state of South Dakota for the American College of Cardiology, where he was a director of medical education there. He has an extreme interest in preventative medicine. He recently completed a fellowship program in anti-aging, where it was done at the University of South Florida. He's completed advanced training in metabolic cardiology, as well as his passion for prevention. And this really fueled him, his desire to pursue preventative integrative cardiology in the future as a clinic, something that is a passion of his. And Mark currently is serving as the director of Medical Advisory Board for LifeVantage. And as I said earlier, that's a mouthful of education and credentials. Thank you, Brandon. It's an honor and pleasure to be on here with you. Great. Well, listen, we want to be respectful of everybody's time, and we know everybody's busy, but I thought it would be great from your perspective and with your knowledge to be able to share some of the things. Because I know every time I get to talk to you, I get more excited about some of the products I've been taking for many years, and I like to share that information as well. And I thought, well, let's not be selfish. Let's share this information with as many people as we can. So first, let's start with, your excitement for the discovery of NRF2 activation. What has that meant to you?
Well, I tell you, before I heard about Protandim, I didn't even know what NRF2 activation was, or NRF2. And I would venture to guess that 99% of the MDs out in the country have no idea what this NRF2 pathway is. And given my past history and interest in prevention, I've always had an interest in antioxidant therapies, and I was always looking at the medical literature about antioxidant therapy and heart disease and so forth. But what was extremely frustrating to me was the fact that all of the big studies on antioxidant vitamins showed that they didn't do anything to prevent cancer or heart disease. And it was after I learned about NRF2 that I began to understand why. It's because those types of antioxidant vitamins so many people are used to taking because they think that they're helping to protect their bodies against disease, things like vitamin E and vitamin C and so forth, are so incredibly weak at fighting the free radicals and reducing the oxidative stress. So when I heard about the NRF2 pathway, I thought, why haven't I heard about this before? And I started to dig into all of the research behind it. And what I discovered was this pathway, was discovered in the mid-90s, and it's been largely untapped as a resource to help with prevention or treatment until very, very recently. Recently, pharmaceutical companies have started to develop synthetic drugs that are NRF2 activators because they've recognized the role that oxidative stress has in disease progression and development and so forth. But let's back up a little bit and talk about what it is that NRF2 does, and this is what really got me excited. So if you have a standard antioxidant like vitamin E or vitamin C, one of those molecules of those things will neutralize one free radical molecule and the process is over. But with things like NRF2 activators like Protandim, what NRF2 does is it acts as a master regulator switch, and it goes into the nucleus of the cell where it turns on the genes that code for these antioxidant enzymes. Things like superoxide dismutase or SOD, catalase, glutathione, and hundreds of others. And those enzymes that your own cells produce are literally 1,000,000 times more potent at neutralizing those free radicals compared to vitamin E, vitamin C, and all of the other standard antioxidants. So when I learned that, kind of a light bulb went off in my head, and I said, now it makes sense. Now I understand why these standard antioxidants don't work to prevent disease, and why in some cases they may actually be harmful. So I kind of had a paradigm shift in my own mind about what would be the best way to reduce oxidative stress, and that is to get your body to make its own antioxidant enzymes through this NRF2 pathway. So that's why I started to get excited about this. Then when I started looking at the science behind it and the studies that were underway, looking at what NRF2 activation can do for prevention and treatment, then another light bulb went off in my head, and I said to myself, this is going to be the next big thing in prevention and therapies for all of the diseases associated with oxidative stress.
Okay, guys, so that's a really key validation there. And the majority of us on this webinar have heard the science of NRF2, but in the most simplest way. NRF2 is again, a messenger that exists in every cell in our body. And our technology has ultimately replaced this concept of taking antioxidants, taking vitamins, and hoping they work. This is the next step in health and health care, and it is changing that. It's a paradigm shift in health, and you're activating the pathways that naturally exist in your cells that are designed to solve this buildup of stress. And so in front of us here is a great slide that talks about all the organs in our bodies that are affected negatively by the buildup of oxidative stress. And we're going to talk again to two firemen that are going to talk exactly about that. If anyone knows stress, it's first responders and what stress does physically, emotionally to our bodies. And so this slide talks about a recent study that came out from the university, Washington State University, detailing the significance of the breakthrough, the discovery of these pathways that exist. As I mentioned earlier, instead of taking antioxidants, your body has the ability to make antioxidant enzymes that are 1 million times more efficient and effective at flushing the buildup of these negative elements in our body, referred to collectively as oxidative stress, the damage caused by free radicals. And this study goes into great detail where the scientists, who again do not exaggerate, talk about the finding that raising NRF2 may be useful in the prevention and or treatment of this extensive list of diseases seems almost too good to be true. However, these diseases all have both oxidative stress and inflammatory aspects to them, and go on to detail that reducing that cause is going to benefit the body in the long run. And so with that understood, what I'd love to do is introduce today's special guests. And Jessica is going to take the time to interview these guys for us and delve into their experiences. As I talked about, as first responders for Clark County and Nevada Fire Department, these guys are on the scene. Again, these are individuals that we trust with saving our lives. So we had a brief introduction earlier to both Rick and Anthony. And I'm going to go in here real quick and make sure that we're to start with Rick. Let me make sure you are unmuted. Unmute. Rick, can you say hello to all of us?
Hi there. How you guys doing?
Hallelujah. It worked. We're all great. So, Rick, what I'd love to do is let's start with your story.
And I attend the interval training, yeah. So you go from you bounce around. So you get to where you just get a feel for
Unmuted Jessica.
everything.
Yeah, I just said hello there.
I'm going to mute Jessica for just a bit. And let's get started with you, Rick, and tell us your story. And then we'd love to delve into some questions, etc. And then we've got Anthony as well, who has a phenomenal story. Again, you guys were introduced to LifeVantage, and we'd love to learn how it's impacted your life and made it such a change.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you guys for spending a little time with us today. I know everybody's busy. I know I'm probably one of the busiest people on the planet. But first, just tell you a story. Karen, thanks for inviting us to this. Jessica, thank you for inviting us. You guys are phenomenal with this company. You guys have been so helpful to us. And I'll delve more into on that, on the people in this company and how they affected me. But my story started out a year and a half ago when I found out about Protandim and LifeVantage from Anthony, who you guys all meet. At that time, my mom was really close to dying. She had a couple of fractures in her back. She's 87 years old. They're not going to do any surgeries on her. And all they did is started throwing drugs at her, narcotics, everyone you can think of. And I don't think my mom ever took a drug in her life because she didn't react well to any of them. Some of them turned her into a zombie. Some made her hallucinate. She saw cowboys under her chair. It was really sad to see when there's really nothing wrong with my mom other than this fracture. That's when the doctors threw all these medications at her, and my worst fear came true. She fell and broke her hip. Well, she survived the surgery, but a month later she passed away. And I kind of felt like it didn't need to happen. That's when I found out about Protandim and what it did. It's anti-inflammatory functions, antioxidant properties. I was really new at it, trying to learn about the science, and it really made me realize where this world is heading as far as nutrition and taking care of our health from the inside out, and not just letting doctors put a Band-Aid on our fixes and getting rich. From then on, I spent a lot of time, didn't really delve into the company. I was truly kind of embarrassed by multi-level marketing, network marketing. It kind of put a bad taste in my mouth. I knew the products were phenomenal. And that's all I really delved in was the products. Being a firefighter for 22 years, that's all we really want to do is help people and make a difference in their life, hopefully a positive difference in their life. A lot of times we fail, or circumstances, just go the way they go. But I was so excited to learn about this product and what it did, and know that if I probably could have got my mom on it early enough, it could have probably changed the outcome. Maybe I could have had a month with her, maybe another year. I slowly started getting family on Protandim and seeing just crazy results. I have an aunt up in Canada. I send her a bottle every month. She couldn't even speak and would have to sit down. And she thanks me daily for giving her this gift. I finally started to realize it is a gift. And all these people that introduced this to me and have showed me what this product is doing, learning the science. And then I slowly started paying attention to the company and the business part of it. And it just really opened my eyes because, like Karen said, our oxidative stress is through the roof. Just like any athlete's oxidative stress, like Karen and Jessica and all you guys know, we're very active. But us as firefighters, to be woken up all night with the lights coming on, from a dead sleep to lights coming on to some voice, to jumping into a fire truck, trying to figure out where we're going, to putting on our gear, and then to be in a fire, and then to go back, turn it all off again and get woken up through the night like that. And then all the toxins we breathe, the chemicals in the fires, even though we wear air packs, a lot of stuff is still residual and we breathe it. So that's kind of where my story started. And then I started to learn about the business and really started to pay attention to it. And I can think a little light bulb went up in my head at one of the events about, holy cow, if this product does what it does, and I could possibly live a little longer, and I could possibly live a little longer healthier, instead of living in a bed maybe for the last 10 years of my life and having kids like most of you all do, it really became important to me. And then thinking, okay, cool, if I could get away from this job earlier than staying way late before it's too late, because we've had people never make it to retirement on this job. We've had people, last guy, great friend of mine, made it 8 months. 8 months he got to retire and passed away at home. So all these kind of light bulbs went off, kind of made me realize I just turned 50 this year. I can't afford a Corvette, so I'm not going to get one. But
no crazy.
I just thought, okay, cool. If this can do all this, and this product is this real, and it is. It's this real. It's backed by science. That this is where I want to go in the future. This is what I want to do. So I'm proud to say too that, yeah, now I'm doing network marketing. I still get teased every day at the fire station. We still got the haters and the naysayers. And if you're ever going to bring anything to a place like this, it's kind of a Shark Tank. These guys aren't real receptive to things like this. They're going to beat you up. They're going to tease you. But I know how important this product is. I know the science behind it. So my arguments are for me. I just have to lead them to the information. I don't have to be a scientist, which I like. I don't have to be a doctor or a paramedic like Tony. All I have to do is show them where this is, and it validates everything we're doing here. And we already have great leadership. The other thing I want to talk to you guys is about our leadership, our uplines, our downlines, our sidelines. I don't think I've ever been involved in anything where everybody is so positive. Everywhere I've worked before, you get around people where there's a lot of negativity and complaining. And a lot of it's because people are miserable. They're fed up with their bosses. They're fed up with the situation. I'm fed up kind of with my situation. I've been working since I was 13, 14 years old, from paper routes to construction to here, and still doing stuff on the side, trying to help people and not really getting anywhere, not getting to where I thought my dreams were. So I'm a firm believer in, we started all at the same starting line. Who knows where the finish line is? But I want to live as much as I can in that time in between. And I want to be an example for my kids, and I want to show my kids things in the world and show them what there is out there. So pretty much with that, Karen, that's really me in a nutshell.
No, Rick, thank you so much. And we're just thrilled, of course, to have you as a great leader on our team. You've done an amazing job helping to introduce our technology throughout Las Vegas. And for that, we are so thankful. And even better is, again, the idea of being aligned with this company as we go through our, for lack of a better word, stratospheric growth. I mean, this company is exploding. So thank you for that. And Rick, any other thoughts on, again, I mean, we know as firemen, you guys as first responders, I mean, this stress level that you are under on a daily basis.
Hang on one second.
Yeah.
Okay, you can come in here too. Okay.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good. You see me now?
Nope.
There I am. Okay, go ahead and ask your question again, Karen. I'm sorry.
So I'll get to the question faster. So, what have you noticed yourself? Can you talk a little bit more about maybe what you've noticed personally for yourself?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The stress you guys are under. I mean, that is so key, and people have such a hard time understanding that the stress that we exude, what we feel and call stress, biochemically, that's the response that we're having, and that's really what our products help to solve. So, quick thought on that.
Oh yeah. So first of all, for me, what Protandim did for me, as I noticed, is I know you guys don't look at this body and everything and think that I'm an athlete, but I was a pretty skilled baseball player and volleyball player, and I snowboard still. I ride dirt bike still. My kids are heavily into baseball, so I'm coaching them, and I still play competitive softball with all the young guys on my fire department. They still let me hang out, and I don't know why, but anyway, I destroyed my knee in 2000. My son was 4 years old. I crashed a dirt bike. My lower leg was aiming the wrong direction. In 96, I hurt my back really bad on a fire, bulged some disc. I've had a plantar fasciitis in my feet. I've had surgery and all that. And up till before Protandim came along, my knee was clicking. My knee was hurting. I'm thinking, holy cow. And as we get older and we get injuries, it's real easy to slow down. As our metabolism slows down, you introduce injuries, you can't move and do the things like you used to. It's easy to gain weight. It's easy to not want to go out and do things, because you go out and do things, you get hurt. And it was kind of like a little fountain of youth, like they say to me. When I started taking Protandim, it was unbelievable how the pain went away in my knee, how the pain went away in my back. My wife kind of described me always as like the evolution of man. I would get out of bed half hunched over, and it would take me all the way till I got to the kitchen before my back straightened out, and then I could walk again. She kind of it hurt my feelings, but now it's little things like that, like just getting out of bed and standing up and walking. And maybe people don't notice that. I noticed my energy during the day. I was always tired, always yawning. Now I'm wide awake, kind of a hyper guy again, full of energy. And when I go to bed, I go to bed. And our stress here, like you were touching on, Karen, is it's huge. It's all EMS personnel, everybody across the country. These guys are going through this. not that we're doing anything like the military, but firefighters, ambulance personnel, paramedics, police departments, our military, there's a lot of guys that suffer with PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorders, and they're starting to recognize it now as a true, situation to help people. So a lot of guys, firemen, are kind of that macho kind of bravado kind of thing. We don't want to ask for help. We won't talk to counselors. We end up kind of being each other's best friends and counselors because only we understand what we go through. My wife will never understand what I go through. I can tell her 100 stories. She's never lived it. She's never seen the things I've seen. I'll never tell her what I see. I don't even want her to have those images in her head. So I don't know if that answered your question, Karen, or if I just kind of wandered off, but.
Thanks, Rick. Thank you for sharing. And truly, I hope everyone on tonight appreciates, the level of sincerity and heart that you bring to this webinar for everyone. You're really here to share your own personal experience, and LifeVantage and our products are so scientific that we don't rely on testimony. It's science. Every mammal will have these benefits because our flagship product, Protandim, for instance, is clinically proven to do one thing. It's clinically proven to reduce oxidative stress by an average of 40% in the first 30 days. And so that process is what's, resulting in what Rick personally is experiencing. And so while we really appreciate you taking the time and sharing, Rick, and we're so excited to see you in Anaheim. You've got a lot of new friends that are going to be looking you up. Thank you so much. And what I'd love to do now is turn it over and let's talk a little bit with Anthony and hear Anthony's story. So I'm going to go ahead and go through that whole process again of unmuting.
Thank you, guys. Thank you all for coming here.
Rick, thank you so much. Rick, what an awesome testimony. Powerful story. And, just touching on the PTSD issue, I don't know if a lot of people understand or realize and recognize that as a firefighter, what you deal with. And I know that relates to a lot of people who've been military vets. And we have a huge opportunity. So I'm glad this is recorded. Thank you so much for coming on. You have a powerful testimony, and it's been really neat to connect with you these last few days and get to know you a little bit better.
Thanks, Jessica. Nice meeting you guys, too. If you guys have any questions or need anything, please contact me through Karen or anybody. Some of you guys I recognize and know on here, and I look forward to meeting the rest of you guys. I really enjoyed doing this with you guys.
Yeah, thanks, Rick. And if you can, stick around for the end, and we'll open it up for some questions as well.
Awesome. I'll be here.
Awesome. All right, Anthony, you are unmuted, so let's
Hey, Jessica, Karen, Jessica, can I ask you a question? Am I being videoed right now? Can you see me, or is it just, can you hear me?
We can see and hear you.
Oh, okay. I was kind of hoping the camera would be off, but that's all good.
We can watch.
All right, so Anthony, if you would like, why don't we get started with your introduction? Jessica did a great job introducing you earlier. If you want to take it away with your story, which is so powerful. So many people will really benefit from that. And then we'll open it up to a couple questions of you as well.
Okay. Well, my name's Anthony. You guys, thank you for having me on, Karen, Jessica. I appreciate it.
My video.
My story is pretty interesting, and not everybody's going to have a story like mine. We all know that, and that's kind of the what can happen sometimes is when you hear this awesome story, everybody wants the same story, and then they take it, and then they get impatient, and then they stop taking because they don't think it's working for them. But what I can tell you is that I was targeted by a firefighter here at the fire station, and by a good friend of mine, and he was chasing me around, trying to tell me about this new product and this science, and he was targeting me because that's what we tend to do sometimes when you have sick people. You're like, oh, I know something that can help you. Well, Protandim, because Protandim allows us to do just that, right? So I was at the fire station, and like I said, he would drop off brochures up by my bed where we sleep, because we do sleep here at the station. If there's any firemen on here, they know it's a different, blue collar life. But anyway, so I eventually, he got me to sit down and watch a video, and I saw what I saw, and it kind of blew me away. And I was like, all right, this is very important, because I understood how oxidative stress affected so many different people on so many different levels, depending on your genetic predisposition and what you were going to get, whether it was, autism or ADHD as a child, or any type of disease for that matter, whatever, So I looked at him like, this is a problem, because I didn't believe him. I didn't believe him. But when I saw the video, it kind of validated it. But my problem still is why are you telling me? Why am I not reading about this in medical journals? Why am I not hearing about it on commercials or something? It should be advertised, not from you. You know what I mean? So that was my issue. And then he told me the story after the video, and I was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. When he told me about it, though, I was kind of had the attitude, I've been there, done that. I've spent $10,000, tens of thousands of dollars on different procedures, vitamins, minerals, you name it, therapies. We did all kinds of different things for our kids. So my boys were born in 2007, like Jessica told you. At age 3 in 2010, they were diagnosed with autism. One was more ADD, but the other one had the self-stimulatory behaviors, all the classic examples of autism. Behaviors like, the inability to focus, temper tantrums, and all kinds of other things. So he was just socially different, just didn't get along. He didn't interact correctly with other kids. And so what happened was he would get in trouble at school. I'd go to pick him up every day at the schoolyard, and my kids would be walked out, with another teacher. And basically the teacher would have him, holding his hand, and he'd be looking at me like, I'm in trouble. But the teacher would have, bite marks, bruises, and all kinds of stuff. And I was getting snubbed by other parents. The parents were, what would happen is I would, strike up conversation, and I could feel that vibe. I could feel that vibe from parents that knew that my child was taking up, all of the attention and energy of the teacher. So and he was falling way behind in school. So when I saw the video, yes, I did try to get him on it. Now the problem with some kids that have sensory issues is they don't like taste, and you couldn't give them Protandim, so I had to wrap it in like a fruit roll-up, and I only gave him a half a pill. After a week of giving him this product, it helped both children, but dramatically the one that really needed it the most, I felt. And within a week, we started noticing some phenomenal results. Now, and the results were, it was pretty, it impacted him big time. We had just a calmness. And the first time in 7 years, my boy and I had that first meaningful conversation, back and forth conversation where it was on cue, you know what I mean? And so it was really special, and it brought me to tears. I brought him to the grocery store that night, the first day that I had noticed a difference. And he was just doing everything that was like, normally I would have to chase him around the grocery store, and he'd turn into dead weight. I'd drag him across the floor, throw him in the cart, and then he'd throw a temper tantrum. It was very, very, it would just totally drain you. So this time, after a week of taking the product, and I know this sounds, testimonials are a dime a dozen, but this is the honest to God truth. My son grabbed the cart and was grabbing everything that I told him to do. He would comply with everything that I asked him to do. So it was very, very special. And I came home, didn't say anything to now my ex-wife. Unfortunately, I got a divorce. But anyway, I told her I didn't say anything at all until the next day. She called me at work crying, telling me what Jake was doing. And I was like, I know. She went right down the list of all these new things that normally would take like 3 or 4 months to do. And what we ended up doing was, all the things that we did, we spent all this money, and here this little yellow pill shows up and totally changed our lives. You know what I mean? It made everything easier. And 4 months into taking the product, my son went from the kid that nobody wanted in their class and had, all the behaviors and everything. And he ended up getting the Be Kind Award for all of 2nd grade, which they give away once a year for every grade in the public school system here in Las Vegas. So I'm going to take a drink of water real quick.
Anthony, that's incredible.
Yeah, it was really special. And so, I know there's no cures. There's no, I said the magic pill. Protandim isn't going to fix everybody and everything. It's not going to, we can't say anything about that. We can't really, but I'm just telling you what it did for me. It changed my son's life. It really did. I'll give it to him, and I'll take it for the rest of my life. So, basically that leads to this whole thing with the whole business side. You know, I figured, why wouldn't I expose this to every single person on the planet? You know, it's really easy to talk about, you know, and I wasn't a network marketing guy, and I was thinking, I don't want to scare people away with stuff, you know, because there's so much stuff out there on the planet. But, you know, we have to be proud of what we have, and really, we have so much backing, we have so much science, and you know, so I have a dilemma that I have to deal with. Like Rick said, we go into people's homes, and I know there's a lot of firemen out there right now, maybe hopefully that will at least eventually watch this, but we go into people's homes, and it's hard. It's hard not to tell people, hey man, you gotta, you know, I want to tell you about this. You know, I want to really tell people that are sick, that we run on 10 times in a month for the same ailments. They end up getting worse and worse. There's you know, I want to tell them that, you know, take care of yourself, you know, let your body heal itself, you know, stop eating cheeseburgers and pizza and go walk around the block, you know, but I can't say that because my livelihood depends on the fact that I need to talk people into going to the hospital. You know, we're paramedics. We walk into people's homes, and we get the whole system rolling. We get the ball rolling with the whole healthcare system. We're the ones that go into people's homes and talk them into going to the hospital when their blood pressure is 20 points higher, you know, instead of saying, hey man, fix your diet, try this product, learn about what's going on the inside, you know. And there's so many ailments and diseases out there. And you know, one in particular with that NBC video with the story of BG12, that new drug that came out for MS, which is just now hitting the markets. We're starting to see the commercials on it. You know, I see a lot of patients now with MS, and I look in their cabinet, and sure enough, there's BG12, and you just want to tell them so bad, or write something, you got to watch this video and call me, you know, but I can't do that. So it gets stressful, you know, sometimes. And no disrespect, you know, to the doctors. I love Dr. Gordon. If you're listening right now, man, I'll tell you what. But when I look at the way we do things, you know, like I said, we're at the very bottom of the totem pole. The paramedics get the ball rolling, and I, you know, it's just, you know, I want to tell everybody, you know, how important it is to take this product and heal yourself from the inside out. And still, there's the stubborn people out there. My mother is a perfect example. She's 80 years old. She won't take the product. You know why? Because she tells me, it won't work for me. You know, I'm like, really, Mom? Even if I tell you Washington State says we're on the brink of the most extraordinary discovery in the history of medicine, I mean, maybe not verbatim, but that's along the lines of what it says, right? You know, she still doesn't believe it. She doesn't take it, you know? And a lot of people out there, no matter what you say, it's because it's you. It's not Dr. Gordon telling them, you know? Mm-hmm. So we don't have that. We don't have that validation to be able to say, dude, I'm telling you, you got to take this product. You know, so you know, I just look at people like eventually, you know, you can't fix stubbornness and you can't fix stupid. So that's kind of where I leave it at that, you know, and they'll find out sooner or later. Oh, maybe, and I'm hoping that people that I've talked to over the last year and a half since we've been involved, that maybe it'll eventually get out there, which it will. I know it will, because nothing's coming close to what we have in our products. So maybe eventually they'll figure it out, and they'll, you know, one day run into me again, and then I get to revalidate it again and tell them about, you know, all the new science that's coming out there. And this NRF1 that's coming out, I don't even know much about it, you guys. Life has been kicking me in the butt this last year. You know, I like Jessica said, I went to Pro 4 in 4 months. I started rocking. Everyone thought I was going to be a rock star, and then I went kind of dormant for a year. Had some tragedy, and then life kicked me in the butt, and now I'm back. Now I kind of needed this, you know. And I've never lost my passion for what we have. But this new NRF1 now, and I don't really know much about it, but I'm excited about, you know, the mitochondrial dysfunction, and now I'm hearing about, you know, even more like the things that I already knew about with autism was mitochondrial dysfunction, methylation problems, the inability to methylate, and you know, glutathione depletion. And if I told you about the drastic measures I would take to try and help my son with raising his own natural glutathione levels. There was some pretty alternative stuff that you guys would probably look at me cross-eyed. I was telling Jessica that in the video, in a text message yesterday. And I did some pretty drastic stuff, you know, and we were on an emotional roller coaster ride with my boy, and just getting back to him, I'm kind of digressing, but we'd have good days and bad days, good weeks and then bad weeks. And what happened when we started doing this was he just started having good days, and then good weeks, and then good months, and then it just kept getting better and better. Now the kid, I don't have to tackle him down to sit him on the couch to read a book. He comes home, reads a book, does his book report every day after school. And I'm like, he's just a different kid. Did it fix him completely? No, nothing's going to fix you completely, but it's going to help dramatically from what I believe. There's nothing better than your own body healing itself from the inside out. So, it's better to make them than to take them, a million times stronger, and that's what I tell people. So I have this whole, there was a couple of thoughts I'm kind of forgetting, but there's all kinds of testimonials Rick and I have experienced. It's, people coming up to us that have lupus and fibromyalgia and sleep disorders and anxiety and cognitive, dysfunction and, all kinds of things that people are having these testimonials, and we hear about them, but we still can't say what it does. We can't say it cures. And so we have, more friends with hepatitis C that their liver enzymes are no longer elevated and they're no longer on a liver transplant list. People, Rick has a hairdresser that the doctor said her lupus has gone into complete remission. And his exact words was like, you are now categorized as a negative lupus patient, so, and so it's changed so many people's lives. And that's why I decided, like we said, we're going to get involved. We're going to tell the world about it. But what I encourage people to do really is truly, you have to truly believe in what you're doing if you really want to have a passion behind it. Like Rick said, we're in the Shark Tank. When we're here at the fire stations, we rove around and people are always trying to, test us a little bit, and this isn't just some juice in a cup, concentrated juice, or some product that's going to tighten your abdomen muscles or reorganize your pantry with Tupperware or whatever. We have something serious. This is real. That's why it makes it the greatest network marketing company in the world, because what we have, so nobody can ever come up to me and try and break me down, because I have a posture that's bulletproof. You know what I mean? And I'm a little nervous. I'm a little more fluent when I speak, about what I have. But when I'm in front of somebody and they're trying to cut it down, I'll tear them in half. You know what I mean? Because I'm that passionate about it, and I know what we have. So with that being said, I know you asked Rick what it did for him personally. I've had a lot of injuries, broken bones and stuff like that. I broke my right leg twice, my left arm twice. And I was told by doctors that I was going to have arthritis by the time I'm in my late 30s. And I did. I ran a marathon. After I got done with the marathon, I had a hard time walking for like a week because of arthritis. And during training, running 50 miles a week, I was like, it would keep me up at night. It would wake me up in my sleep, the throbbing pain. So after the marathon, I actually went vegan, because that was the same time that I was trying to drastically fix my son, and my sister had, a single mastectomy with cancer. And I figured, I'm going to start cleaning up my diet. I'm going to replace all the crap that I'm eating with good food. And I did, and it worked. It really did. And that helped me. This was far before Protandim. Okay. Now I come to a fire station where we have a cook. He's a firefighter. Normally we all help out at the fire station and cook, but the firefighter we have cooks really well, but he cooks a lot of rich, unhealthy foods. And so my diet went right out the window after 2 years, right? I was practically a vegan. I can't claim vegan because I had cream in my coffee, but the diet went out the window, and my arthritis should have come back with a vengeance. The doctor said that my left hand, I wouldn't be able to use it by the time I'm in my 40s. And I was starting to really feel it. I had pins put in my wrists and everything. And the arthritis should have come back with a vengeance after I helped it with my diet. And then I went to the crappy diet that I was eating here at this new station. And that just happened to be the same time I started Protandim, and it didn't come back. So that's my testimonial, is that it never came back. My pain never, robbed me of my ability to do things physically. So, so other than that, I wanted to share a lot more, and I don't remember exactly. I wrote a couple notes here, but, the whole thing about this diet and fixing, we can't hide behind Protandim. We're definitely not going to take it and use it as a crutch, thinking we could still, proceed with our unhealthy lifestyle. You want to, yeah, you do want to eat healthier, but you do have to take care of yourself. You got to stop smoking. You got to stop overeating. You got to exercise. You have to eat the right foods. Protandim is just a piece of the puzzle, but it's a major piece of the puzzle. But I don't want anyone to get confused, and I'm no doctor, but just from what I've seen and what I feel is that, it's like tipping the scale. We can eat apples and oranges, and everyone can think that they're curing their disease or ailments with eating, live enzymes, raw foods, but they're truly not. Dr. McCord said it's like throwing a Dixie cup of water on a house fire instead of, helping your body turn its own mechanism on, right? Well, so eating apples and oranges, if you're eating the healthy foods, and this is what the example I like to use is that when you're eating healthy foods, you're not eating the garbage because you're filling up on stuff that's not going to kill you. So you're just tipping the scale. And if you can do that and change some habits and take this product at the same time, and now the Nerf One, I'm just so damn excited about that. I can't wait to see what that does for people, and the science behind it. I don't know enough about it to even, and I haven't even ordered it yet, so I'm guilty as charged. But I know that people are going to have some major differences in their health when they do make those decisions and incorporate Protandim and this new Nerf One product into their diet, because it's just I've seen what it does for me. I saw what it did for my own son. I mean, nobody can ever take that away from me. You know what I mean? So it's very, very dear to my heart, this company, and I love you guys. I got to tell you, the support system is awesome. I love the camaraderie. I love going to these events because it's like bathing in that positive energy, and that alone is good for your health, right? I mean, they say that every thought we have, every cell in our body reacts to every single thought we have, and it's proven through science. You can be in an acidic state or an alkaline state, and if you're in that acidic state, you're allowing the diseases to manifest, and especially cancer. That's the big one, So meditate, take your Protandim, eat healthy, and I'm out.
Oh, Anthony, thank you so much. Truly, your story of father's love, there is nothing like it. Thank you for going to battle. And Jessica has some questions for you.
Okay.
Yeah, so powerful, both of you. Absolutely amazing. I'm literally hiding in the dugout right now, and I'm sitting next to a couple guys that are in the business with us, and I'm showing this screen with them, and they were popping into my earphone. They're like, wow, your stories, both of you, so powerful. And, the combination of Nerf 2 with Nerf 1 now, imagine the power of, just increased energy with Nerf 1, activating the Nerf 1 pathway with our Nerf 1, followed by Nerf 2, and just the inside-out approach that we have. And both Rick and Anthony touched on this, the inside-out approach to health and fitness, optimized life. Anthony, I could totally relate to your story as a marathon runner and just the soreness and just trying to recover. But on the flip side, your sons, talk about increasing quality of life for your two little guys and how that affects not only them, the teachers, the school, and then you guys as a family. And so if we could just increase the quality of life for our family, that's powerful. So I know that story is amazing. Any tips for just from a just advice as a dad? I know a lot of people ask, for kids that don't take a pill, do your kids ingest it? How do they take it? Have you found different solutions that help them? Or different ways that you help get them on Protandim? Do they take Axio? What are your recommendations for that? And then I've got two more questions for both of you.
Okay, who's going first, Ricky? Or are you asking me, Jessica?
Yes, asking you, Anthony.
Okay. Well, this is the thing. I tried to crush it up and put it in juice so you can taste it. The thing with kids with neurodevelopmental diseases is that they seem to be keen where they're lacking in different areas. Instead of lacking in one area, they're keen in another, and that seems to be with their sensory issues with hearing, smells, sights, tastes. And taste, that was a big one. Hot and cold was a big deal to my son. He couldn't drink anything hot. He couldn't even touch bath water. But the thing with taste was huge because if he had any bitterness at all, and he could tell, you know what I mean? It got to the point where I was getting so frustrated because one son was taking it, and I didn't even go into what it did for him, but we had some success with him too, right off the bat. But with Jacob, we eventually wrapped it. We wrapped it in fruit roll-up. I figured, okay, this is the way I can get him to do it. I'm going to have to break into quarters and give him two little, instead of two halves, I would break it into quarters to make it small enough for him to swallow. But that's all I would do. I started to give him candy, like little pieces of Skittle. Okay, swallow that. Don't chew it. Don't chew it. He knows it's candy. So I kind of trained him by breaking that half into quarters, and then I would wrap that little quarter into a piece of fruit roll up. And then he started swallowing the Protandim that way in 2 different bites. Now he does a full pill. We wrap the whole thing. He still has to have the candy coating around.
Of course.
I hope that doesn't mess with the synergy. You know what I mean?
Well, they say to take Protandim with food, right? So, no, that's awesome. I know a lot of people that give their canine health to their pets with, give the dog treat with, bologna or meat or whatever it is. I know my really good friend gives it to her cats because her cats are bigger than some people's dogs, but she wraps it. So there's a lot of people on the webinar today. I know other replay viewers who are wondering about how to give it to their kids too. I know we have friends that crush it up, put in the peanut butter on their sandwiches, throw it in the smoothie. So however you do, it's powerful. So that's an awesome way to do that. Now, as a business owner, and now business owner with LifeVantage, what have you found to be your key to success and the most exciting thing that you've seen in growing your LifeVantage business? I know Rick's on your team, which obviously is amazing to have the two of you as partners, not only at the fire department, but also being able to do this LifeVantage business outside of working together in the fire department. What have you seen as your key to success, and what are you most excited about?
Well, the key to the success was with me was just learning, having that posture that no one can ever take what you have away from you. You know what I mean? Is you have to educate your science and truly believe in it. And when you believe in the studies and you read the peer-reviewed research, and I know a lot of people, Marcel and Tyler would tell you, I never read a peer-reviewed research my whole career with this company, but I do. See, there's different people out there, and everyone does it a little differently. But I myself got really, really passionate about the product, and I believe in it, and I feel very, very strong about it. So what I would do basically is expose it to as many people as I could. Off the bat, I was just a blabbering idiot about it. And you know what's funny is I stopped being that person, and that's when my business slowed down. So talk to everybody. You're never going to mess it up. If you can just even get them to sit down and just watch something, whether it's the ABC primetime or just read an article or anything. I mean, if you're scared and you can't talk to people about it and you're afraid of the no and being rejected, well, it doesn't matter if they reject you. Who cares? If this product, let me tell you something. If this product was in Smith's or at the grocery store, I would be telling everybody about it anyways. I would be buying it up and selling it to my friends. You know what I mean? Or giving it
Absolutely.
Listen, I get excited when T-bone steaks are on sale. I use this example. I tell people about that. Why wouldn't you tell them about this? It's, we have something very, very special here that's going to, it's possibly going to revolutionize medicine, and I don't see why we could be quiet about it. So as far as the business goes, I talk to everybody. You get a little better and better and better at talking about it. And your posture gets stronger and stronger. If you fall out of the loop and you stop doing things like this, talking to people, our terminology in network marketing is saying you're either plugged in or you're unplugged. Well, you need to stay plugged in. You need to go to everything, even though I'm guilty as charged as not going to the last Elite Academy and the last couple of meetings here in Vegas. Because like I said, life happens. I'm the king of stuff comes up. And you just got to stay plugged in. And when that happens, your posture goes up and you'll be able to talk about this with any and everybody. And not everybody's going to, even now, it doesn't matter. It seems like more people said yes then than they do now to me. So, or they're interested, so you can never put a time frame. You can't put, you can't basically just go in and just screw it up. Basically, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person, the right thing to the wrong person. We've heard that a million times. And it's true. The people out there, I was sitting down with Scott Satterfield the other night for dinner. And he told me, he says, Anthony, it's like going into a restaurant and, there's 100 people in there. And 2 people's name are Bob. Okay? In the whole restaurant out of 100. 2 people are Bob. You have to go around and find the Bobs. That's it. And the only way you're going to find them is going up to every single person and talking to them. So, but like I said, Pro 4 in 4 months, and then now I've been stuck at Pro 4, got up there halfway to Pro 5, a couple months after that. But ever since then, I kind of sat on, I stopped doing some things, and it's affected the business. It has. So the only thing we need to do is just keep educating ourselves and staying plugged in. So
I think that's absolutely key. You hit a ton of key points right there. And so thank you so much, Anthony. Number one I got from you was be bold. Be bold about this, guys. We are the world leaders in nutrigenomics. The world leaders. We just got off of an amazing science webinar with Dr. Fifi, who's our Senior Vice President of Research and Development. Powerful, powerful stuff. And then followed up by this and hearing you guys, we have something that no one else has. We are paving the way for prevention. We're educating people on the thought process and the process of preventing disease and illness. We can't say we claim that and we're going to do that, but if you can reduce oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days, that is powerful. And coming from the pharmaceutical industry myself, I am so fired up to be leading the charge in health and wellness and locking arms with people like yourself. So be bold, guys. Anybody can do this business. And that brings me to the next point that you stated. And Anthony, I think it's key. Never stop plugging in. I was just visiting with Master Pro 10's Brand Lynette this weekend, and they won't stop because you're building this business. Fix the roof while the sun's still shining. So keep on plugging in. That builds belief not only in yourself, but with your team, with your future customers, and people are watching. I just had a guy from another company who's been trying to get me in his company for months now go, hey, how's your business going? I'm like, it is rocking. And he's like, I think I need to talk to you about joining your team because I see what you're doing. I've been watching you. And you're living a lifestyle that I want to do that I'm not getting. And so people are watching you whether you see it or not, and they're looking at your lifestyle. So they're looking at you, Anthony, and you, Rick. They're seeing these changes, these positive impacts that you're having, not only inside the firefighter department, but also outside in your community, your lives. So plugging in, being surrounded by you guys, Karen's not on my team directly, but we work together because we're life from a new vantage point. We're a family. And so being on here truly helped me understand more about this business, helped me build more belief in the products myself. And I know everybody on here, I'm saying thank you, Rick, thank you, Anthony, thank you, Karen, for coming on to here. So I'm going to pass it over to Karen, and just want to thank both Rick and Anthony for taking the time out tonight. I know you guys could be called at any time into work to be out on the field. So thank you for taking the time and taking the chance to be on here and share your story and share your heart, because I know it's going to inspire a ton of people and help others to really validate their beliefs. So you guys are incredible rock stars. I look forward to seeing you both as Master Pro 10s as well. So I'll flip it back over to Karen. She can close it out with questions and then end the recording. But guys, it's been an honor to have you on here. So thanks so much again.
Jessica. Thanks, Jessica. It was very nice meeting you.
Awesome, you guys. Thank you. And please stay to the end, Rick and Anthony, if you don't wind up getting called in for work. Love for everyone to be able to ask some quick questions. I'm going to run very, very quickly through the business opportunity tied to LifeVantage. And the way I typically explain it is, guys, we get it. So much of what we talk about sounds too good to be true, but it's not. The patented technology of our products aligns with the absolute perfectly timed business opportunity. And when I explain to people this concept that in 8 months you could replace your full-time income by starting a part-time we call it a franchise opportunity with LifeVantage, sounds too good to be true. I'm going to walk you through very, very quickly how that is indeed possible. And so you've heard a little bit about our technology. Please, I hope the person who invited you on this webinar can share a lot more science. Our website prepare you to understand the technology that we've brought to market. But there is a way that you can start to share this, just as Rick and Anthony have embraced the opportunity. These are products we want to take for the rest of our lives. Why wouldn't I tell others about them? The way I explain it to people is this: you can buy your products from me, or you can open your own store and buy from yourself and teach others to do the same. We offer 3 opportunities to get involved as business owners with LifeVantage, based upon your investment and your future with LifeVantage. If you would like it to replace your full-time income very quickly, that's our Platinum Pack. It's $1,200, comes with over $1,000 worth of our products, so that you start to look better, feel better, you're performing and recovering better. We didn't even get into all of our products, but I will in a minute. But the products are included with the business packs. Talk to the person who invited you and decide what is best for you. And from there, people ask, so what does that mean? What do I do? What's beautiful about LifeVantage is you're not out being a sales rep. We're not delivering packages. We're not handing little gift bags to people. We're business owners. Our one and only job is to introduce a new person to LifeVantage, the technology, the company, our future, and where this is going globally. And when you do that, you are compensated by LifeVantage. LifeVantage handles everything else for you. They handle customer service, online marketing. They handle all of your marketing materials, anything related to your customers, billing, receiving, invoicing, the works. LifeVantage handles everything. You have one job. Introduce it to someone new who doesn't know our technology exists and help them decide to open their own franchise global store and move this process forward fast. And so with LifeVantage, we're paid in 6 very generous ways for every introduction you're making, and you're paid residually on it. So let me explain. I have 3 ways that I explain our income, and this is what is so life-changing about LifeVantage. First of all, there's linear pay. That's what most of us are used to. Rick and Anthony, they go to the fire station, they're paid for their time. They're salaried, they can be called in at any time, and they get the job done. And thank you, heroes, for all that you do. All of us understand linear pay. You go to work, you're paid for that job. At LifeVantage, it's the same. You have one job. What was that? I told you. Introducing LifeVantage to new people. Every time a new person orders from you a new product or becomes a new store owner, you are compensated. Every new person, the numbers used to be in here, every new person that joins at the Platinum Pack, LifeVantage pays you that next Friday $500 commission on bringing a new store owner to our company. And those commissions add up quickly. They're called Fast Start bonuses. Enroll 5 people, you've earned $2,500 in Fast Start bonuses in 1 month. And you also at the same time qualify for bonuses. So typically people who can be introducing this to 4 or 5 people a month are making, $3,000 to $4,000 a month in Fast Start bonuses. That's nice. That's not why you join LifeVantage. What you're joining LifeVantage to do is to start to build that residual, willable income. This is a business that the efforts you put in today will continue to pay you for years, months and years and decades to come. And this is a willable business. So what you start today is something that you leave for the generations that come after you. And so our royalty commissions are what's called residual earnings. And that's the kind of earnings that musicians, authors make. They do their work once and they're paid on it over and over again. Same with LifeVantage. You've gotten your linear pay over here for introducing people to our company and opening a store and using our products. Every month that they continue to use our products, you're commissioned on it, month after month, year after year. Some people refer to it as mailbox money. It's nice. But the real reason people join LifeVantage is our very unique elite bonus pool. And that is something that is life-changing. Once you reach the rank of Elite Pro 7, which I'm going to show you how people are doing that in mere months today, you start to earn a percent of every LifeVantage product sold anywhere in the world. Now, this is a very unique bonus, very unique to LifeVantage. And I liken it to if our grandparents had heard about Mary Kay during the same kind of formulation period with Mary Kay as you're being introduced to LifeVantage, there's no doubt that he or she as a grandparent would have been very successful. And if Mary Kay offered an elite bonus pool like LifeVantage does, family members, generations next, would be earning a percent of any mascara sold anywhere in the world. Now, Mary Kay doesn't offer this bonus, but we do. And I hope that that analogy hits home, because with LifeVantage, what you start today and build over time is something that is willable. And that willable business allows your future family to earn a percent of any LifeVantage product sold anywhere in the world. And that, my friends, is fabulous. It's called passive income. It's a raise every time we open in a new country. Every time we launch a new product, it is just a raise. And it's passive because you haven't had to do anything at that point to continue to earn more month after month. And so quickly, I show this because I didn't talk about my background, but I had a long corporate career in good old corporate America. And let me tell you, I maxed out my 401k savings. We did great with our investment strategies. But let me tell you, as an asset, nothing I have ever done has grown as systematically and predictably as my LifeVantage business has. And if you can wrap your mind around thinking of building LifeVantage, this side business, as building an asset, you will quickly see how different your retirement strategy will become. And so we're a publicly traded company. This is our audited income claim statement. And what it shows is what distributors at every rank in our company are making every month, month after month, year after year. And we show both a monthly maximum, because some distributors get involved and they're just rock stars, they take off. Others do absolutely nothing with the business. We look at the average to indicate, again, average input. This is what an average LifeVantage distributor is making each month. And you can see how quickly these incomes start to increase. And I'm going to talk about what goes into growing that in my next and second to last slide. But what I want you to take a look at here is the significant increase from the rank of that Pro 6 to Pro 7. And that is, again, because that global pool kicks in at 7, 8, 9, and 10. And your income grows surmountably month after month as your organization grows and you're sharing in this global pool. And what's also interesting to see here is that those folks that basically do nothing are still paid royally well as soon as their businesses grow to those elite levels. And so that's really unique about LifeVantage, sharing in our growth. Again, today we're a $200 million company, publicly traded on NASDAQ. Look us up. LFVN is our stock code. Take a look at this company. We're small today. These global pools will be unimaginable when we start to expand globally, and that's happening already. Now, down below here real quickly is just the typical American, and really globally, but the typical retirement plan. Most people think that they'll be able to retire on their savings, on their retirement asset accounts. What you've been putting away in your 401k and your matching, and what you've been doing with your IRAs. Now, in order to actually retire on that money needs to be moved in some kind of a liquid fund where you're gleaning interest off of it. And so this graph down below is really quick to understand. This is the amount of money you would need in a liquid retirement asset account, earning 6% interest in order to glean this little bit of money a month. Now, I just want you to think to yourselves, how many of you, have over $114,000 saved in a liquid retirement account that's going to be earning 6% interest? We won't even get into where this country is going with the idea of interest-bearing accounts. But let's just hypothetically say you could find a way to earn 6% on your saved money. If you had over $114,000, that's netting you about $570 a month. First of all, the majority of Americans don't have nearly this amount saved, and we certainly can't live on $570 a month. So hopefully this is starting to compute. At my level, which is an Elite Pro 7, I remind my husband of this all the time. Like, my gosh, in 3 years, I built my business to an Elite Pro 7. And what I really did was amass a retirement account of over $2 million. If you look at the monthly income I'm able to glean off of my business. So hopefully this makes a little bit of sense to you. Please get back with the person who invited you on this webinar that can delve into this a little bit deeper. Our audited income claim statement is posted on our lifevantage.com website. Read through that. It goes into a lot of detail about the earnings of distributors and how our compensation program is laid out. And finally, I have this one last slide that goes into, as I talked about, the idea that you could replace your full-time income by growing a business in only 8 months always does sound too good to be true. But with LifeVantage, it's fact. Our technology, our patented technology, our timing, our global growth, and then the opportunity to get yourself to an elite status where you will be earning in a share of every product sold anywhere in the world makes this dynamic very, very possible. And so my last slide here, I'm just going to explain this system very, very simply to you. If in joining as a platinum global store owner with LifeVantage, if you join today and bring in one partner who has that same mindset, yes, I would like to retire in 8 months. I understand the timing and technology. I didn't appreciate Apple when it was introduced to me, but I get this. Let me help. Let me get in. Let me share what we now know. The two of you become business partners, and in that first month, you've made $500, a commission on bringing in your first partner. Okay. Month 2, you both go out and you do the exact same thing. You find one business partner each who has that same mindset. I'd like to retire in 8 months. I understand the timing and technology. Let's go. Let's do this together. You'll see as you start to progress, each of you finding just one new business partner a month that has that same mindset. Yes, I'm going to do the same thing. And selling out of your store the very bare minimum, $200 in product sales a month. That could be personal usage. It could be family members. It could be contacts that don't want to join in the business, but just recognize the value of our products and decide to be customers of yours. If each individual does the very bare minimum, one new partner and the minimum of sales, of course, you're going to have people who do much, much more. But I'm trying to show you how simple this is with everyone just kind of being that bare minimum contributor. By month 8, you and that first partner you brought in are both now at the elite level. You are earning a share of every product sold throughout the world, and by month 8, we'll probably be in some new countries. So this pool will be a little bit more significant than it's indicating here. By month 9, what's brilliant is those partners that you brought in your second month, they're now hitting Pro 7. They're now earning a share of every product sold everywhere in the world, and you and your first friend are now Pro 8s. And you can see how this model just moves forward. If you can wrap your heads around the timing and the technology and how fast it is growing, and you get involved with LifeVantage today, your December will be very, very different than if you ignore this and let this go and do what most of us did when we were first introduced to that iPad, kind of hesitated. Hesitation is only going to mean that this business is going to move fast forward without you. And that is the reality of LifeVantage today. We introduce this to our family, our friends, our colleagues, everyone that we know that cares about their health, cares about their future, understands, as Anthony and Rick explained, healing from the inside out. And the business opportunity is unprecedented. And so with that, I'm going to close. Thank you all for joining on this webinar today. Please get back with the person who invited you. And I'm going to take this off record. And if anyone else is still out there that would like to ask some questions, I'd love to open up to questions. And you can use the chat functionality to access that. So the chat, hopefully you see it's a little orange box here, and we'll see if we have some new questions out there. Anyone with any other new questions? I'm gonna type something in here. So I posted a question, say, Rick, I think I've muted you. Do you have anything further you'd like to talk about or add to this, or as we close up?
Well, I kind of just wanted to answer your question. Some of you guys asked, or you asked, or Jessica asked, how we approach people, what we do, because I'm so interested in how everybody else talks to everybody. And my advice, I think, is just be real and just talk to people. I found out just talking to people and asking them a couple questions and just being a human, just being real, being kind to them, that all of a sudden they start opening up to you, and they'll eventually, it seems like, either tell you that they need money, they are financially not set, they're not happy with their boss, they're not happy with work, they have no benefits, or they start telling you about their ailments and problems they're having, or their mom or somebody in their family that's sick. And it's such an easy lead-in to show them this product, to show them the video, or to, text them the video, get their number. I had to learn to get people's number, because you give them your number, they won't call you back. and it's amazing. And the other thing too is just to follow up. Even if you get just customers, follow up with your customers and tell them about the new technology. Tell them about the new science. Have them watch the video again so that they understand again what they're taking. Because if they're not as connected as we are connected to this business and talking to each other and doing these things, they kind of probably taking this pill and kind of forgetting why they're taking it and what it's doing to their body. So, and I just had somebody that I talked to a year ago, just talked to them again, didn't bring up the product, and they just signed up. They had all my information and signed up as a customer. So I'm kind of with Tony in the boat. I'm ready to get this thing rocking and moving a lot faster than it has. It's moved a little slower than I thought. We all had those aspirations. I was going to be Pro 10 in a month. That didn't happen. So, but I just wanted to thank you guys. And I just wanted to let everybody know too, that this is such a phenomenal team. I know I touched on it before, but I don't have to be an Anthony Spilaccio. I don't have to be a Karen Walterson or anybody, a Dr. Gordon, a Dr. McCord, because all you guys are right here in place at my fingertips. I know Karen, I've called you weird times and everything. She always answers. Everybody in your upline, it's such a phenomenal environment to be in. And I just welcome all you guys to join us. And if you guys can see where this is headed. And another thing is being around this job and a skeptic myself and a naysayer, and I've beaten some things down. I've probably had 20-some people come to me with business opportunities of, we're going to get rich, this is going to be huge. And it didn't touch what we have. It didn't touch the timing, doesn't touch the science, it doesn't touch the product. And you think about this product and how every single mammal on this planet should be taking this, and hopefully will be taking it someday. And we're at the beginning of this to get this to this world. For a dumb guy like me, this seems pretty simple. So I love the whole process and everything. So thank you, Karen, and thanks, Jess.
Oh man, I'm so glad it was such a quiet night at the station for you. You weren't called back in and able to.
Don't jinx us.
I know. As I started to say that, I thought that as well. Anthony, anything else to add? Thank you guys so much. Rick, you guys are just incredible. And I know so many, just reading the comments here, so many people have benefited from all that was shared tonight. And we have great follow-up for everyone to go back and kind of at least watch ABC News and kind of go step by step through the process. This is science. It's not hype. We've got, the validated, the studies, the whatnot. This helps every mammal. And unlike the iPad that sells $26 billion a year, no one needs an iPad, but every mammal on the planet, as you mentioned, needs NRF1, needs NRF2 activation. They just don't know it exists yet. And therein lies our opportunity. So thank you guys. Anything to add, Anthony? Thanks so much.
I just want to say that we actually shut the station down to do this today. No, I'm only joking. That was going to make Rick mad because he was so paranoid about dude, we're at work. We can't do this. We even changed our shirts.
No, guys.
So, but, like he said, though, I just be real. And when you understand what you have, when you truly understand, you truly believe what you have, you're going to have a posture that no one can take away from you. So you're bulletproof. But when you're bulletproof and you really do look people in the eye, they can feel that passion. People know, they can tell just from your vibe, your energy that you're giving off, that this guy is really convincing. You know what I mean? And we could sell this stuff like crazy. I know we want to build a business, but we can sell this to anybody. Mm-hmm. Because it's so easy to talk about, like I go back to keep saying, hey, this candle is really going to make your house smell fresh and clean, or these oils are going to make this ailment go away. Where's your science? Like, nobody ever calls bull crap on that. You know what I mean? Nobody ever calls, especially that concentrated juice stuff. Like I said, keep going back to what we have, the validation. We get to fall back on so much, and so many universities and all this stuff, and so many doctors. I mean, Dr. Gordon retiring, is he retired? And he's retired now, right? Yeah. I mean, he's a young, good-looking dude, and most cardiologists you see till they're till they're older, and before doctors usually retire, and he's retiring to do this, and that's just amazing to me. So that right there gives me even more of a posture. Like, look, man, we got people from all walks of life if in medicine that are doing this. Mm-hmm. So and Dr. Chesney, I mean, when I got to sit down and talk to him for the first time, that was just so awesome, because I really respect health, you know what I mean? And not necessarily the pharmaceutical industry. I kind of don't like that because I see how many poisons are out there in the world that, you know, for one medication, you got 10 different symptoms showing up, and then they're going to make another drug for those 10 symptoms, and it keeps going on. And we see that every day. But when we talk to people, like Rick said, look them in the eye and just, they can feel that energy, and just talk to as many people as you can. And also, you know, I'm not very computer savvy. As you can see, I delayed us getting on this in the first place because I couldn't even figure out how to type in the code. But as far as the technology goes, and nobody really hits on that too much. And I think it's kind of new in network marketing, but we have the ability to reach out to thousands and thousands of people through the computer. And I know Marcel and Tyler, it's kind of like I know it's been taboo in network marketing, but I mean, we met some people on the computer, and we have friends. One of them's on right now from Ohio, a great friend of mine. You know, he's a great friend of mine. I told him yesterday I loved him because him and his wife are the greatest people on the planet. And I met them, never even knew them before, and we went to the Elite Academy the global convention down in Phoenix, and it was the first time I actually got to hang out with them. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, man, you can build relationships, mm-hmm. you know, even through the computer. And I know a lot of people might not think that that's a good idea to tell everybody, but we do have the technology. If you are computer savvy and you do know how to do those things to be able to reach out and connect in the right way, then use it, you know? Mm-hmm. So anyway, that's all I have to say.
Awesome, you guys. Well,
I appreciate you, Karen. You guys are so awesome. I really appreciate you guys. And thanks, because this helped me plug back in and get remotivated. I haven't talked about it much. Mm-hmm. And I did a few presentations last week, and which was awesome. And now this really, really got me pumped up again, and I appreciate it. So
awesome. Well, let's plug back in together. I'm excited to work with all of you guys. You're like three across on my screen, and I'm truly excited to help all of you guys.